Good morning, everybody.
Blueberry Street. Yeah, I'm in Boston, and it feels so good. I'm so excited. I got my tickets to see the Pats play, and then the Celtics, and a Fenway game, and it feels so good. And it feels so good. So good, so good. We bump our fists up in the air. So good, so good. We're living proud, so we shout it loud, and it feels so good. We spend the summer down at the Common, and in the winter we cheer the Bruins. The weather doesn't make the city, it's the people, and it feels so good. And it feels so good. So good, so good. We bump our fists up in the air. So good, so good. We're living proud, so we shout it loud, and it feels so good. And it feels so good. So good, so good. So we never really care. So good, so good. And we work all day and we play all night, and it feels so good. Well, on a Friday night, we'll still start a fight. Yeah, she'll bash a bottle right off your head. She'll give you a smile while you talk for a while, but you're never gonna get in her bed. She's got a body of a goddess, mind like a man. She'll always tell you where she stands, 'cause she's been drinking with the boys, talking about them dirty things that she enjoys. She wears her shirts real low, her skirts real high.
Good morning, motherfuckers. How are you? How is everyone? Are you doing well? You got your coffee? I got my new microphone. I hope you hear me better than before. That's all I could say. I think it works well. I did some recording trials. It seemed to be okay. Picked up a little better. Also picked up some background noise. So sorry about that. I did add a little suppression to it. Hopefully that'll take care of that. So how was your day so far? I know I'm a little late. I spend too much time setting this up. I like to make it all a little fancy. I add the pictures and the headlines in there and shit like that. So, I don't know. I could do it easier all on one screen, but that's just too fucking simple, huh? Hi, Lisa. How are you? Trying not to blow away. Yeah, I agree, right? It's that kind of day. Last night, a lot of power outages, especially around here in Massachusetts. But yeah, try not to blow away is a good thing. Power outages, we had a couple of power outages last night. Brief, very brief. I spilt my coffee. I added a little Irish to it. But, yep, good morning, everyone. Hope you're doing well. I got a whole bunch of different stories. Like I said, I probably spent too much time setting up. I always do. That's my thing. I try to, I'm a perfectionist, but not really. But I always get yelled at by Patty, in a good way, that I spend too much time trying to be, put too much work into certain things. And I guess I'm just the type of guy that likes it right, And if I could do it a little better, I'll do it a little better. And that's why after every show, I tweak little things on my settings and whatnot to make it a little better. Because I'm a firm believer there's always room for improvement. First up, yes. All right. Now, this is a simple, we're going to wait on that one. I'm going to go to this one first. Okay. Potato Head. We all remember Mr. Potato Head, right? And we heard of the news recently about the gender neutral stance. We can't call him Mr. and Miss Potato Head anymore. So then this post came out, which I saw, it's a tweet that came out, cancel character, which again aims a lot of the different characters that they had to pull out, basically because of their their symbols, I guess you would speak. Remember Land O'Lakes. I remember literally the day I was in the store, literally the day when some of the new ones came out and the old ones were like still there. They sold off the old ones and the new ones, like, it's just They took it off, blank, no problem. And then also the Redskins and the Indians and why can I? Oh, my son will kill me. I can't remember his name. Paw Patrol dog. Shoot. But yeah, Paw Patrol, because he's a police officer, we can't have that now, right? Can't have cops in cartoons. That's bullshit. Absolutely bullshit. But yeah, then the syrup, and I brought this up on a previous show. We talked about Aunt Jemima, and I say, I am from Massachusetts, so I say aunt. I have an aunt. We have aunts. In Massachusetts we have aunts. But the syrup is always, to me, has always been Aunt Jemima, right? I guess it's a Southern thing, but Aunt Jemima, and never once did I consider that like a racial thing, or it's a black woman, or this or that. No, I thought the only thing I really associated was it was a woman on syrup, which means it must be a good recipe. That was my 2 cents on that. That's it. Now they took it off and they put that whatever fucking is something Mills, I forget what it is now, something Mills on it. So now you get, instead of a face of a woman on there, you get a brick mill building, which to me really kind of kills it. That's just my 2 cents. But going from that, after the chop of Mr. Potato Head, I saw this and I'm like, exactly, right? What the fuck did I do? The plastic toy is a potato, right? What the hell is the problem here? The plastic toy, the shaped potato that you could decorate with all kinds of different things. You put the lips in his ear if you want, right? So now we get to, whoa, well, hold on. Hasbro says, let's wait a second, and now backtracks. And, they have, because there was a big backlash over the gender neutral change. Now, I wonder where that backlash came from. I'm wondering if there's, was it truly from customers, the outreach? Was it from investors, because the board of directors, all that? They'll be like, whoa, wait, we didn't approve this. See, there's all kinds of things that could have happened. But they backtrack and, back to it we are. They can have the family, Mr. Potato, the whole kit and caboodle. But it's mind-blowing about how the sensitivity stuff has just gone overboard. Do we need to be respectful to each other? Absolutely. Do we need to be respectful to gender and races and everything like that? Absolutely. But I don't understand how a toy like this could be offensive. Patty, good morning, baby. I know you did message me a little while. I was just looking at it when I started up. I was so busy trying to get other stuff set up. My phone, my phone's on silent, of course, so I'm sure the thing was dinging away or vibrating, but it was over there when I was doing all this work. But yeah, are we too sensitive? Are we, I don't know, is it too sensitive, or are we becoming overly sensitive, responsive to it? I think it's been crazy, and like that image shows, right? The Cleveland Indians and the Washington Redskins. The Washington Redskins are no longer the Redskins. They are the Washington football team. I think next year they're supposed to come out with their new logo. They'll come out with a new mascot and all that, the new team name. And the Cleveland Indians, what the fuck did the Indians do? That's just, there's nothing. I could see maybe changing that logo, and I'll touch on that, being that the logo. So the logo is the most recent one you see there on the right, the logo is identified as Chief Wahoo. Wahoo, it's a win, Wahoo. There's nothing else. But I could see that logo maybe being questionable as far as the color. Red. Okay, redskin is a derogatory term. It is it's like calling a black person black skinner or things like that. I don't know. It's referring to, it is to some degree referring to a race. It's also, it's a slang term referring to to the Indian race, as well as it also has negative thoughts on that. It was referred to as it was the red men. They painted themselves in red before a battle or whatever. The Redskins are more, my understanding, and I could be wrong, but my understanding has always been the Redskins are of a murderous type group. So, but whatever way, the Redskins, they determined that is a derogatory term. It had for a long time. I get that, but I don't understand why they couldn't just change the logo, maybe make it more of a pale face, a straight white face. They could still be Indian. The term itself, Indian, is not derogatory. But, of course, we got to be super sensitive to everybody, right? It's kind of driving me nuts that we're being that sensitive. I get, you don't want to alienate anybody, and we don't want to alienate races, gender, all that. But I don't understand, like, why the plastic toy, Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head, we have to remove the Mr. and Mrs. And thankfully that went back. But to me, that tells me at some point that will get changed. The fact that they're just tinkering that idea, it's going to happen. Just like with the Redskins, they took a long time they fought in court over it for years. And then from the George Floyd incident, then they decided, all right, we'll drop it. We'll rebrand. It'll take a year and a half to rebrand. So this season, they were just the Washington football team. Next season, whatever they come out with for a name is what they'll be. But it's just a mind blown that, if anything, the George Floyd incident, how bad and atrocious it was, it's like that they're using it to muscle their way into things that, in my eyes anyway, and I'm just one person, doesn't coincide with the other. I mean, what the fuck does Mr. Potato Head have to do with the sensitivity of anybody? I mean, it's not being insensitive to people with gender identity issues, the gender non-binary. It doesn't reflect that. I don't understand what the problem is. And it's just, I swear there are groups out there that are just looking for shit to bitch about. And when I say that, because there's two women out in California who are bringing up a lawsuit against Subway right now for, they had their tuna fish sub analyzed, and they're saying that there's no tuna in their sub. So they're arguing that they're trying to get it escalated to a class action lawsuit for false advertising and stuff, because tuna is supposed to has a good nutritious value. A respectable amount of tuna is healthy for the body. Fish and stuff like that. People need hobbies, exactly, Patty. But you get this tuna fish lawsuit pending now with Subway, arguing that there's not any traces of tuna in their tuna sub. Whatever, I like the tuna sub. I fucking eat it, whatever. But if you're not aware, many chicken salad subs or whatever from different pizza places, wherever you get your sandwiches and stuff, often have breadcrumbs in it. They use the same thing in tuna. They put a lot of breadcrumbs in it because it helps, get more out of it. It still carries over the flavor well. But you can get more out of a can of tuna, But that, to me, that's just someone that has nothing to fucking do. For whatever reason, they went and they got a fucking tuna sandwich. They had it analyzed, and now they're suing for it. And it's just, I'm lost. People have nothing, like Patty said, people need hobbies. They have nothing better to do than to sit there. I could see if, hey, shit, I've been eating tuna, Subway's tuna subs for 3 months now, and I haven't noticed any whatever you were looking for from the nutrition values of fish or whatever from the tuna. So then you got to analyze. But these people just randomly decided, what's in this? Because maybe they were sitting there picking at it, I don't know. And then they decided, what, let's go. And then, okay, they find out it doesn't have it. Now they're launching a lawsuit on behalf of who? The board selves. And they hope to make a couple bucks off of it. It's pathetic. It really is. Why don't they put their energy into something that matters? Our world is in chaos, and this is the best people can do. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. It's like all of this. What are you getting from this? Nothing. This doesn't better us any way, shape, or form. Especially, like I said, the fucking Potato Head. The Cleveland Indians, and like I said, I guess that maybe there's a valid argument to change the logo, the color of the logo. You don't want them to be a red-skinned Indian like he is here. But that's like the only argument. But they now I bring the Indians up because the Indians after the 21 season are dropping Indians from their name, and they'll be doing the same thing as Washington. It will be looking to rebrand in the next year or two. So, because we have to be all sensitive. Cleveland, the Washington Redskins, like I said, had years of lawsuits from like 2014 on, and then basically when the George Floyd incident happened, they just gave in, said they'll reconsider and a rebranding and everything. But they had been sued, which I get because, like I said, the Redskins term is a slang term. But why not allow the team to just rename themselves to Washington something else, Indian related or whatever. But again, more business side, had to rebrand, who knows. But I just don't see it. If you keep pushing Indians away from everything, then there's going to be no talk of Indians. And Indians, as they want to be in the history books, but if you keep shutting them out from everything, nobody's going to want to learn about them because nobody's going to think about them. It's just ongoing craziness. All those characters, shows getting canceled or delayed or whatever just because of sensitivity issues. Like I brought the Muppets came back. ABC, Disney released 5 seasons of the Muppets on their network, I believe it was, Disney Plus. But anyway, they had to put a disclaimer that it was offensive material. Because of, I don't know, Grover getting slapped or whatever. It's just, I don't know. It's all that kind of shit. It's just, because, Miss Piggy, oh yeah, whack somebody. That right there, that's offensive. So they had to put a disclaimer on that. Things that were, yeah, exactly. Trying to change history, leave it alone. You're going to lose history is what's going to happen. And now going this right here, the story here. All right, this actor here, Harry Shearer, has played Dr. Hibbert on The Simpsons, and Dr. Hibbert is a black doctor, and he has voiced him for 31 years. But obviously, due to all the social things today, they're pulling him, and they make his last episode was the last episode of which he voiced. And I had it right here. Sorry, it was but they will recast it. Somebody else will be playing the voice, which it's a fucking voice. You have no idea. I had no idea white or black. Unless if you look the guy up, you're not gonna know, right? So if he's playing the guy, what is the fucking problem? The last episode, Diary Queen, featured Shearer as Dr. Hibbert for the last time, and then next Sunday. We'll have Kevin Michael Richardson voicing Dr. Hibbert. I just, Shearer has voiced Hibbert since the second season, since 1990. I mean, The Simpsons been on for most people's lives, for Christ's sakes, right? 32 seasons, 33 seasons now. 32. And yeah, it's ridiculous. And the change comes after Fox said last summer The Simpsons will do away with actors playing other races. So you can't... So if there was a cartoon with an alien, what do you do? I mean, who's going to play the alien? I mean, I can't play I'm not alien. Why would I play the voice of an alien? What the fuck? The same thing with like Transformers movie or something. I can't do the voice of Transformers. I'm not a robot. That's what this is coming down to. Oh, I'm not black, so I can't voice a black person. You know what? Some people might argue that you can tell as a black person by their voice, whatever. Yes and no. I mean, you might think that, but like a white guy could. Talk normally, and you might think he's a black person on the other end of the phone, but he's not. He's white. Same thing with a black guy. I don't understand it. The voice itself is not racial. There are plenty. If you want to go like ghetto, some black kid talking ghetto, plenty of white kids talk ghetto too. That don't matter. You can't tell what race they are on the phone, and in this case, on television, behind the scenes of a cartoon. It's mind-boggling. But that somehow this is political or racial correctiveness, right? I mean, is this correctiveness? I think it's stupidity. I think it's, it's getting, maybe, if anything, things are getting too correct. It's just going to make for a lot of more problems in the future. Every little thing should not be a battle, should not be a challenge, but it is.
Oh my God, Biscuit! This lady over here just said we can't be bringing our own wine to church.
I think that's bullshit, because isn't wine
The blood of Christ? Hell yeah! Oh shit, here she comes!
Shoot it!
So that is Imagine Biscuit. They're a funny drag queen king duo, guy and girl and that. And they have a Facebook page, TikTok, all over social media. They are hilarious. They also have their own podcast show. Just check them out. Patty loves them. And they are funny. I saw there's a bunch of videos, so check them out. They're hilarious as hell. I'm glad you like the new mic. I'm glad it sounds good. Better than the old one. It'll work great for Patty's show. Patty has a show potentially Saturday night. I think it's still on, right? Saturday night be Patty Cakes and the Rockstar. I've been working on a new screen for them. But yeah, it'll be a good time. Check them out. Hold on one second.
The Wicked Pissah Show. Bumpa, Byron, and Patty Cakes. No bullshit talk radio. Wicked cool. Wicked funny. Wicked Pissah.
This rock star with no fame, the way it is for everyone.
So this one here, this is a hilarious little story. This comes out of right here in Massachusetts, Southwick, Mass. I'm not going to really give many names. I hate to give names because I hate to give credit to criminals, except if it's too funny. But in this case, a gentleman, a 50-year-old male, basically was caught in somebody's garden, vegetable garden, which also turned out to be their pot plant garden, which is legal in Massachusetts. You can have up to 10 plants in the yard planted. This gentleman had like 6 or something like that. The night before, they had somebody in their yard that this guy confronted, the homeowner confronted, and then he came back the next night, so they called the cops. The homeowner got into a scuffle with the male party, and then the male party left, and they walked away. Cops catch up to him, they find him. The officer noted that his clothes were covered in dirt, and he appeared to be in struggle, had fresh dirt and scrapes on his face from fighting with the guy. So then when the officer asked what happened, he said he got jumped by an unknown male walking his dog in an apartment complex. When the officer told him what he was being accused of, the guy then says, I'm not sure why the other guy is claiming this and accusing me of taking my weed, his weed. So at this point now, the officer never mentioned anything about the weed. But the criminal mentioned the weed. So the idiot gives himself up easily and quickly. So he got locked up for that. But he was, let's see, he damaged the pot plants, which had a value of about $21,000. They do. Have you seen some of these pot plants people fucking plant? I have. Oh, we're not talking like, back in the day when you had a little something in your house in the basement or something like that. These fucking things are fucking trees, right? They are thick. They're fucking 5-6 inch round base, right? I mean, there's a lot of fucking weed on these trees now. And they are like, they're fucking 8 feet, something out of Colombia. And so people are growing them in their backyard now, which is fine, legal, like I said. But because once people see that, see it, they probably might be able to smell it in a breeze. I don't know. I don't smoke it, so I honestly I can smell it from like a mile away. Just get carried on a wind, I can smell it. I can smell like a guy across the parking lot smoking a joint. I can smell it easily. So like the non-smoker can really smell it. Anyway, so the guy gets charged with a larceny valued more than $12,000, and he got charged with that, assault and battery, and then so he got released. He's got a trial pending pre-trial on June 1st. I'll have to follow that one up. That's just funny as fuck. I like when people do stupid things. In that case, what? I don't know why he's accusing me of taking his weed. The officer's like, what did I say about weed? Oh shit. Yep. Stupid is as stupid does, right? Oh yeah, I love this one. This is I saw like last minute, and I'm like, oh shit, I gotta throw that in there. And as I said right here in the title, fucking kids. And in this case, it would be a Nike executive, a vice president, general manager of Nike's North American division. She was, she implicated. I hate to say it, she's not guilty of anything. She could have stayed at the company, but she resigned pretty much probably out of embarrassment. She has a 19-year-old son, Joe Hebert. Ann Hebert is the vice president's name, Ann Hebert of Nike. Her 19-year-old son, Joe Hebert, used her company American Express card and made purchases up to $132,000 worth of limited edition sneakers for his own resale company. So Joe, at 19, owns his own little side business, or I guess a pretty good business, I would say, resale business, West Coast Streetwear, and sold the shoes for more than a $20,000 profit. That's a little bit of profit. To me, if I'm buying $132,000 worth of shit, I'd want more than $20,000 net over that, wouldn't you? Is that just me? I don't know. I'd want bigger price. When you spend 132 G's, I should be making at least 50. I'm thinking 70 G's, right? Yeah, Patty said, but he can make mad cash. Right, he can make mad cash. I don't think he made enough cash, that's for sure. And he bought them online at retail. I think he would have done better if he did it as a business, but I don't know. And also, it's been told that other sources said he has used his mother's employee discount to purchase sneakers in bulk from Nike outlet stores. So we go up to a Nike outlet store, go with, pick out, I need some of those in my shop. I'll take 50 pairs of those, a few of each size, right? And then get mom's discount, which I don't know what mom's discount is, but if she's an executive, I'm sure it's probably higher than whatever, store employee discount it is. And then that would be profitable for him. Yeah, easiest way to get something right through Nike. Because, if you're, in order to get stuff right from Nike or distribution, you need Muco bucks to get really cheap, right? You have to have a high volume. You're not getting that high volume. You're only doing a low volume. You're not going to get much of a discount. So he may get a bit of discount with his mother's discount going to the store to buy it. So anyway, Ann Hebert, she had worked for the company for 25 years, resigned voluntarily. And like you said, they had no problems with her. They didn't ask her. She decided she did it voluntarily, and they thanked her for their 25 years and wished her well. But I guess it was embarrassing. Rather than just deal with more of that, resign. I don't know. But I thought that was perfect. Fucking kids. These kids 19 and doing six-figure purchases on shoes. Using the mother's credit card, and that is in this one case. And it wasn't even the biggest insult. Really, was that when he bought the online purchase at $132,000, he bought 600 pairs of the much sought after sneaker, the Adidas Yeezy Boost 350 Zion. After they were released, he bought Adidas with the company card. So I wonder, was it Adidas that caught on to that? Hey, look at this. From Nike Corporate, they just bought 600 pairs of our sneakers. Hello, dumbass. But, and like Patty's saying, you can make money off that. Yeah, you can, but you have to buy it right. Buying it at retail, even with the fucking employee discount, it's not going to produce enough money to I mean, like I said, 20 grand profit after spending 132,000. That is that's awful. That's awful. That's 16% profit. That's junk. That's you might as well be selling fucking canned goods. Yep, that's terrible. But I had to bring that up. I saw that. I thought it was hilarious. Young and dumb, exactly, Lisa. Young and dumb. Oh, here's a good one.
Dog napper caught on camera in a tug of war with a dog owner. You see it right here. Despite the struggle, the pet owner kept her dog. And tonight we've learned the man in the video accused of trying to steal multiple dogs. Windcrest police walking Cody Lee Canfield in front of our cameras after his arrest today. The Night Team's Japhanie Gray has been following this story, and residents tell her they're grateful the suspected dog napper is off the streets.
What a fucking boob. Now, you're going to watch all this, I want to chime in. This guy getting caught stealing. Why are you stealing anyone's dogs anyway? What the fuck? Why? Nobody needs, you really need a dog that bad. And plenty of, you can rescue. But, he's a guy stealing dogs for probably trying to profit himself to sell, or he could be selling off for, animal research.
I mean, we could be seeing a new trend of something that they're trying to do.
After being suspected of stealing multiple dogs and attempting to steal a couple others, this man, Cody Lee Canfield, is now sitting inside a Bexar County jail cell. Windcrest police walked.
Motherfucker's smiling. That motherfucker needs a bitch slap. He shouldn't be smiling. Motherfucker tried to steal a dog.
Canfield this afternoon.
I didn't target any dog. I don't know what you're talking about.
Windcrest police say this surveillance video captured last Monday proved that statement was a lie. This happened around 1:30 p.m. on Parkcrest in Moorside. 2 hours earlier, Skylar Woods says he captured who he believes is the same man trying to take his Pomeranian named Cubby. He lives on Spring Ranch in San Antonio, not far from the first reported incident. In the surveillance video and pictures Woods took, it appears to be the same person. For Cubby's protection, we're not showing him.
Asked if it was for sale. I said no. That immediately threw up some red flags. Then he just grabbed the dog from my hands.
Like the 68-year-old victim you saw in Windcrest, Woods, who happens to be over 200 pounds and 6'5", was ready to throw down to protect Cubby.
There wasn't much said. Give me my dog back.
Woods got Cubby back unharmed. Windcrest Police Lieutenant Daniel Hernandez says multiple area law enforcement agencies are investigating similar cases that Canfield could be linked to.
Bexar County's was out there at his location, and I was informed that there were some other dogs there.
He says there are different reasons why someone might steal pets, which is why he encourages pet owners to stay vigilant.
They can use them to bait the other dogs for fighting and such, but...
See, now there's the number one reason right there to keep your dogs leashed. Not, in many areas people have a mistake that there's a leash law. At least here in Massachusetts, there is no such thing as a leash law. Get that through your thick skulls. There are no leash laws here in Massachusetts. Some states have them. Not all states have them. It's usually it's set locally. Some local towns or cities might have them. Majority, at least here in Massachusetts, the majority have it defined as a nuisance dog. And what that means is that you can let your dog out to go in your yard, because if you train your dog properly, most of the time the dog will never leave the yard. But a lot of people fence in the yard for protection, all that. But if your dog is, fully trained where they won't leave the property unless told to or whatever, you can let your dog out without a leash, or fenced in, as long as they stay in their yard. If the dog leaves your property repeatedly and goes across the street, takes a leak or piss on the neighbor's lawn, that's a problem. If your dog's often found wandering around town, that's a problem. It becomes where if the dog, like I said, wandering basically on property that he shouldn't be on, then it becomes a nuisance dog. Same thing with barking. There's no such thing as most towns or cities don't have really a what they call a quiet law. A lot of people call it quiet law. Oh, you have to be after 10 p.m. No, you don't. Very few communities have some type of quiet or curfew time like that. There isn't one. But there's always disturbing the peace. So after a certain point, after a certain time, or before a certain time, it is too late, too early to be making noises such as barking. So yes, then it becomes a nuisance via disturbing the peace, which disturbing the peace is always on the books. So there's no quiet time thing. It's one of those things. The dogs can wander around. But I'm just saying that here, and it's a perfect example why maybe you should keep them fenced in or within a close proximity to keep an eye on them. But even in this case, that guy went right up to the other guy in front of his house, the Pomeranian, and will try to take it right out of his arm. So people like that, like this guy, and it does happen. There are many areas that will see a period of time of a lot of pets going missing. And that's because of guys like this. Whether they be selling them, like this story just said, or selling them for dog fighting or other whatever hunting. People like to use live target. There's all kinds of things they could be doing it.
In this case, I think he's probably trying to sell them on Craigslist.
I'm going to sleep great tonight knowing that he's behind bars.
Canfield is now in the Bexar County Jail on a felony theft charge of trying to steal from an elderly woman. Live at the Bexar County Sheriff's Office, Daphne Gray, KSAT 12 News.
Awesome. There you go. We're getting deep shit for that. Caught on video, too, so you can have a hard time getting out of that one. But in the other cases will pop up. But it's just, something people need to pay attention to. It's just I thought that it was a good story for that because it does happen. It happens a lot more than people realize. And, as this story unfolds, more and more places will investigate where, other animals have been missing. And like the officer said, the lieutenant said that they'll sell them on eBay, Craigslist, or whatever. It's easy because you know what? I can bullshit some paper or whatever because thanks to computers online, it's very easy to just edit some type of certificate, breed certificate, or whatever you want to do, and say, yep, this is my dog. Here, I'll sell it to you for $300. Easy money, right? It's just because, especially the dog left unattended. Hey there, Bowser, come with me. All right, Bowser, that's a few $100. This one, is a special breed, young, looks healthy. The Pomeranian, gee, I can get $800 or $900 for this one. It's things. People are always looking for a quick buck. And a dog is the easy buck. Amazon. I love Amazon. I shop it. I think my microphone. See the microphone? But Amazon, here, what am I missing here? Dinner loving. Oh, yeah, lots of dinner loving. Exactly. What's he doing with the dogs? Right, dinner loving. I don't know. That's gonna, if he's at home and got 40 dogs at home, that might be a problem. But yeah, Lisa, I wonder what kind of dog you have. God help the person trying to steal my dog. And there, some people would have that. I mean, there are even the little yappers, the little chihuahuas. They're gonna, if they don't recognize a person, they're gonna spaz out and start nipping away. And we knew, Patty and I, we know a little dog can do some damage. Microchip, exactly. Microchip, that's a good point. If you really love and care about your dog, microchip it. That way, at some point, when it does end up at a vet or something. Anyway, this Amazon story out of North Las Vegas, Amazon employee, all they say is he may have fell or jumped. Well, he's dead. They don't know how he's dead. They found it, the incident. There's almost no information. It's like a long story of absolutely fucking nothing. It's a long story. OSHA's involved, of course. But I raise a flag to me because it's Vegas. You owe somebody money, right? It's like a Goodfellas type thing right there. You don't want to pay, dump them off the second floor. But yeah, it's this particular fulfillment center is 855,000 square feet. You know how big that is? It's fucking enormous. I'm thinking that's about 7 or 8 football fields, if not more. That's gigantic. But I just, I brought it up because I saw some of the comments from the employees. Like I said, the story has very, very, almost no information. Management wasn't giving out any info. The cops didn't give out any info other than they notified OSHA. But, some stupid comments by the employees, like nobody knew what was going on. A manager didn't tell me. They just sent us home. They sent them all home with pay. They got pay, and they'll be offering grief counseling. I'm not sure what kind of quality grief counseling you can get through Amazon, but they did pay all their employees for the day. But she was pissed off because she was just disappointed that the manager didn't tell the employees exactly what happened. They still don't know. Nobody knows. It's not saying anything. Everyone was so confused. Nobody knew what was going on. Somebody died. That's all I need to know. Go home. Come back tomorrow. And it could be more to the story, of course. They got into a fight with another employee and threw him over. Yep. But, who we got last? Oh, all right. Perfect closure here. Coke is woke, right? Y'all hear that recently? Coke is woke. Be less white. That's their thing now. Be less white. Holy shit. Where's my thing? Oh, come on. What did I do with it? I had a really good 411 on it. Anyway, what I read was that companies like Coke get woke because they're broke. Well, is that 100% true right now? No, it's not 100% true as far as them being broke. But what we really need to look at is that companies like Coke that have been around for decades have nothing new coming out. Most of these companies that are suddenly getting woke are companies that haven't created anything new. And that, I think that, if anything, is the problem. Trying to find out that source I had, but Coke woke. But it was a perfect explanation of these companies going woke and broken. Like some people say, it's not accurate to say, oh, they go woke, they change, they're gonna go broke. Just like we said about Nike. Nike, they took Colin Kaepernick's side, they're going to go broke. They're going to... no, what it is if anything, the company is already struggling to be relevant. In Nike's case, they're still coming out with new shoes and stuff like that, but Nike is, like Coke, limited. There's nowhere else to go. They're only shoes. It's not like they have other divisions, there's shoes and some shirts and clothing, but there's no new big product that's going to come out that they have to have. There's no spin-off from these. It's like Coke, Gillette, they all have success from capitalism. Almost nearly a century of success in all these companies, but the gentleman, the author in this, like I said, makes it clear that more or less what they're doing is trying to stay relevant. Not necessarily they're getting woke because they're going broke. And when I say going broke, these companies have a lot of money. They're not broke. They're producing, but they see that trend where a lot of these companies are actually plateaued. Coke plateaued. There's nowhere else for them to go. They make a shit ton of money and that's it. There's only this way. They're hoping for some type of an increase, a bump here and there. Same thing with Nike. There's nowhere else. They're already maxed out. When they have a record year, sales went up 3%. I mean, there's no enormous numbers coming out. So these companies are using this to jumpstart something new. Because they simply are not relevant. Coca-Cola is a perfect example. Like I said, they have money, but their overall sales have dropped quite a bit. Actually, from in last year, they've dropped 28% last year. That's huge. But that's because, school districts, colleges, whatever, have taken Coca-Cola out. Less and less places offer Coke because it's a soda. Oh, we can't have soda. That's bad for our children. This, that, the holy blue. We know all that shit, right? So, and then like in New York City, right, they banned it or something. I forget. There was all kinds of changes. From schools and shit like that. So you can't get Coke at a lot of these places. And then you got these healthy food shops or whatever that don't offer soda up because of that, or they'll offer a natural soda or whatever. So Coke is losing and will continue to lose until they jump on a bandwagon. They need to come out with a product that will work, build up. But the same thing, like I said, with Nike, stuff like that. Those companies have been long, and when I say struggling, yeah, they are struggling. Their numbers are down, but they're still fucking profitable as hell, right? But they see the writing on the wall when they see year after year a couple of steps downward. Like I said, they're plateaued pretty much, but they're little clicks down, because especially Coke, people are phasing that out. The Coke used to be the biggest thing now, and you go to a supermarket and there'd be a pallet full of Cokes. Well, now it's like Coke and Diet Coke, because more and more people are doing the Diet Coke or the sugar-free Coke, whatever, fucking Zero, whatever it is, Coke Zero, all that stuff. So, and they try to get on that. There was one survey they found number of children drinking over 3 cans of soda a day fell from 10% to just 3%, or 3.3%. So, I mean, those are numbers that have huge reflections on it. And so I bring this up because your author in one of the stories I read made it point blank that there are companies like Coke, Nike, all those others that take the woke stance is more or less because they are going broke. They're, and when I say that, they're not broke yet, but they see that downward spiral. Like I said, there is nowhere else for them to go. Coke needs to, they have to, until they come out with something completely new, or they need to get on top of other popular brands, soda is fading away. And, even like, Patty doesn't drink soda much anymore. It's just seltzer. Not many people drink soda because it's we've gotten to a point where it's like we're used to drinking lighter stuff. I prefer fresh brewed iced tea. I don't really drink soda. Like I like Fresca sometimes. I might do ginger ale occasionally, like a pineapple soda, but I use that for alcohol. But as far as Pepsi and Coke or whatever, I don't really drink either one. If I were to drink one, I prefer Pepsi. Diet Pepsi, because to me it just has less of a sugary taste, and a lot of people don't like. A lot of people don't like either one. I mean, or only one or the other. So the woke corporate giants share the same decadent sense of decline, and their urban elites are selling out their rural base to appeal to young radical generation, to which their children and social circle belong. So, perfect, right there. That is why these corporate giants are abandoning the rural base, which basically anybody outside the urban area, which is about 97% of the country. 97% of the country, area, space-wise, whatever, is not urban. And I think it was 76, something like that. 76% of all communities are less than 50,000 people. So America is small town. It's sad that things that happen in these big cities are dictating to everybody else what we have to do. Just like yesterday, I talked about a little bit police reform, because they had to defund the police thing. How's that working out for you? It's not. Again, most of it is only in the big cities, or very large towns, or that are cities now, whatever. 50,000 people or more. That's where a lot of these police reform changes belong, I guess, really belong. Because in these small rural towns, there are areas that there's no, you can't say no racial issue, but they don't really have the history of racial issue because there just isn't one there, and yeah, high crime areas tend to be in urban areas just because of how densely concentrated the population is. Okay, there are there high crime areas in rural areas. Yeah, like Jimmy John Road down there. There's 3 families that are assholes, so we're always down there. That becomes the high crime area. But a high crime area in a rural area is much different than a high crime in an urban area or suburban area. And even the suburbs, immediate areas around the main metro cities don't have the problems the cities have. And so, but because you experience something in a city, Seattle, Minneapolis, New York, Chicago, boom, they want to throw it out to everybody else. Everybody else is not having that problem. So take the stance with the city, not everybody else. And, it all goes back to now because, basically these corporate giants are jumping on board with the big upraised circle. It's free promotion. Hey, let's back these groups that are fighting to be woke. We'll back them up and they'll support us and their social groups and all that. It's free marketing. You get a little jump start but it's not going to last long because now you're alienating the other 90% of the country or plus, depending on how you look at the numbers, at least 75%, right? Alienated everybody else. So you better hope the woke shit work. But a lot of people say that the woke is going to be a short-lived thing and eventually just going to lead to going broke. And it's early signs of these corporate giants recognizing that they're going broke. And if anything, it just buys them a little more time. But it's not just Coke that went woke and broke. It's the entire system that is going broke. They fail to change in general. In general, they fail to have a product that appeals to everybody. They're trying to force their product to appeal to at least some, keep themselves afloat, get those numbers up a little bit. Like I said, 28% dip in last year for Coca-Cola. And Nike has seen a dip, all that. They're all struggling to find ways to get those numbers back up because they have investors to line up, right? So, get woke, go broke. That is really what it is. And while the definition isn't exactly how that says, it explains the reason behind that. That's all I got, folks. I hope you all have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow. If you have any stories, send me something. You can send it to me, Facebook, Wicked Pissah Show on Facebook. You can message us. I'll get it. I'm the only one who deals with that anyway, the Facebook stuff. And we'll get some more stuff for tomorrow. Till then, we'll see you then. Bye.
Until it's over, look at what we've done. There are times where things may get too hard. Just wanna go all in, just to get rid of your cards. Say the grass is greener on the other side, but you say